I'm out with the X-H2S, one of my many test days over the next month or so. And as you can see, open gate is fun. And there's a reason why I'm going to be messing with open gate, because one, I've not been able to do it properly before. You know, you can do this or this. I mean, it's a bit limited in this situation. Face detects on, we're using the 18mm f1.4 at the moment at 4.5, 160 on the ISO. Yeah, 6.2K open gate, 30 frames per second. Let's move back and see how that is there. We've got a bit of action up there. Anyway, getting nice and close. I forget the minimum focusing of this lens. Can I see it? No. But anyway, it's got me. What do we reckon? That's the intro done. We're going to throw up a lot of random samples, all being well with the 18mm, the 18 to 120 and the new 56mm. Yeah, it's going to be a fun month or so. But first, let's have a little look at it up close and just run through a few of the many specs. I mean, this is a bit of a killer spec as it is. Anyway, let's crack on. There she is then, the S model, Fujifilm's X-H2S. Is it the best that Fujifilm have? Maybe not for you, but technology wise, well, we've got a weather sealed magnesium alloy body, weighs 660 grams with battery and card. It's surprisingly small considering I think it's the biggest X series body at the moment. It's not so bad once you get your hands on it. Bear in mind, I'm only short and small, you know, and look at that. It's not too bad. I do appreciate that grip though. The screen, decent, not touch screen, but that's fine. The buttons, top quality. I believe the shutter is a lot quieter now, and that's before thinking about quiet mode. PSAM dial, not PASM as people tend to say. It is actually very handy to flick between the C modes. You've got 7 of them. Custom modes, very quick at hand. Now, of course, it's not for everybody, but it's there, and I think it's a welcome addition. Of course, we've got a brand new 26.1 megapixel stacked X-Trans sensor, much faster than previous and the fastest in the X series range at the moment. X processor 5, of course, 15 frames per second without cropped, 40 frames per second cropped, electronic, 6.2K open gate video, 4K up to 120 frames per second. That's with a crop. Now we've got IBIS up to 7 stops. We've got a 5.6 EVF, that 3-inch vari-angle LCD. There's a lot of specs with this thing. We're just having a quick run through, you know, just while I have a little hands-on time with this. I mean, I've got it for about a month or so, so some proper testing is taking place. You might not think so, but so we've got CF Express B, we've got UHS 2SD there, we've got a remote slot there. I've got to say, especially on this side, I do like these ports. They're basically like little doors. There's your Type C there. We've got the headphone one there and the mic one there. They feel decent. I'm not sure if you can take them off, but I'm not really interested in taking them off. I'm very happy with the full HDMI, and I wish I had that on a T body. You know, really, really quality stuff. Obviously set up for video shooting, but more than capable for stills too, of course. Battery, same as my T4 that's currently recording this, but now they're saying you're going to get 720 shots per charge in economy. I'm not going to be shooting in economy, and I generally get a lot more shots out of it than is stated. But yeah, decent, absolutely. More tempted than I was before. I wasn't really that tempted before, but interesting. Let's see how it goes then. While it might not be the body that appeals to my heart, after using this quite a lot actually, the X-H2S, like its almost twin brother, the H2 that's recording us now, it's a great fit. And even the internet favourite, the PSAM dial, is perfectly up to the task. Flicking between the custom modes is very handy for a hybrid shooter, and I'm more than happy with it. As a T-series owner for some years and a lover of the dials on those bodies, I can still work perfectly fine with the shutter and the ISO being where they are. In fact, the array of buttons near the shutter button is quite a handy design, and it's all pretty well positioned, even a record button, all things considered. Now that record button, we need to have a quick word because it needs a little bit of a firmware update, I reckon, because basically if you're in stills mode and you want to use it to quickly activate a video clip, which can be very handy on the go, it doesn't activate IBIS. Maybe a firmware tweak can sort that out. Of course, a quick turn of the PSAM dial gets you into full video mode in no time, but it would be good to have full function via that record button while in stills mode. Overall, the build and handling is top class, as you'd expect, and there's a lot to love from the top screen, the full HDMI, the grip. There's a lot of stuff going on here. You either love it or you don't, but let us know in the comments below how you get on with it, build quality and handling wise. I'm more than happy with it, even if it doesn't make my heart explode. That sensor offers more than enough power for most of us when it comes to stills, and yeah, it's certainly an excellent photography tool. Let's cover that back up before you have a heart attack. This camera though is all about the performance to get that shot. The image quality is effectively the same as the previous generation, so you know, on that front my T4 over there is not feeling too nervous. Yeah, it's all about performance, speed. Face and subject detection is pretty excellent. There's a lot to get stuck into, and you'll end up with way more keepers now, especially if you tweak the autofocus continuous settings to your needs. It's still not ready for the Sony and Canon fanboys, but for the rest of us more sensible, cool people, it's a nice upgrade. It's a bit silly, but face tracking, it's up my eye right now. But it's flicking between both eyes. I know you like this hat. I borrowed it from Creepy Doll. Anyway, let's get out the frame. And we're using the 18-1.4. We're at 1.6. Exposure issues. What do you reckon? I mean, is it a massive improvement as it should be? That took longer than I thought. It's smooth. This is without adjusting any of the continuous tracking settings, fresh out of the box, so to speak. So, out the frame. I mean, who's going to be jumping in and out? You might be moving around the frame a bit like this, and then you want to be confident that it works. But I found with the previous generation, the T4, it was fine. Right lenses. I mean, that looks like a decent enough shot considering. I like this blurred out background, f1.6. Let me try and put it at 1.4. And it's going to be a bit too bright, but yeah, that's enough face tracking tests. When it comes to video, dynamic range is very decent, effectively the same as the H2 actually, and a very welcome upgrade. I really enjoy shooting in open gate, and I can see that becoming a very productive option going forward for me. This is definitely the camera to get if rolling shutter is an issue for you. But if you're shooting video mainly on a tripod, you don't necessarily need this one. Stabilization could still be improved in moving shots, but otherwise it's pretty good news. As with the section on build and handling, I may well be repeating myself with this quick versus the X-H2 section, as I did with the X-H2 versus this. And honestly, I could live with either camera, but I've been messaged a lot about this, so here you go. I love open gate, love it, but I'm edging toward loving the 8K more, so H2 win just about for me. In stills, you do get slightly better high ISO stills, which is a big deal for me for some large group shots that I do every 6 months. But the 40 megapixel sensor offers more benefits to me the rest of the year, so I'm going H2 again. You do get faster burst and autofocus in stills with the H2S, so while it wins on that front, I can easily work with the H2. This then is Fujifilm's most pricey and arguably best APS-C camera yet at £2,399, though it won't be for everybody. The H2 that's shooting us might be best for you and me, maybe, and that's all good. Quick shout out to the wildlife shooters. You might need to do a bit of adding up to see if this really is the system for you once you factor in the lenses that you need, but I think you'll be pretty happy. Let us know in the comments how you feel on that one. This then is the real deal, built to work for speed and ties in with the usual Fujifilm excellent image quality in stills and video with some very welcome features like that full HDMI, open gate, improved face and subject detection. The list just goes on and we've spoken about it already. So in summary, I'm loving it. This is not McDonald's.